It's time for my weekly picks. Oh boy, are we going to have fun this week, are we? Last week, how'd I do? Let's not talk about against the spread. It's been a rough go there this year. Straight up winners, better. Another good week, 9-4. Not perfect, but hey, you can fucks with that. 9-4, if I was that every week, that's a pretty good percentage right there. So you look at my season totals now. You remember the first couple of weeks of the season were a pretty big struggle. Now 77-57, well above coin flip versus spread. Let's not talk about it. But anyways, another week, another round of picks. You're always welcome to go against me. I'm sure most of you asshats will do better than me anyways. Let's go ahead and get started. The Thursday night game. Now, mind you, I'm recording this Thursday night. It's about 7:15 or so p.m. Eastern time. Before the game, haven't watched the game. I will post the pick on Twitter Thursday night before the game, so that way I have validation. So don't come on here if my pick is wrong and be like, hey, I got to sit there and record this ahead of time. So I don't know what the hell is going to happen. But you got Carolina traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. I hope this will be a really good game. It could potentially be Cam versus Big Ben. Steelers are 3.5-point favorites. When you look at the Panthers, don't sleep on them. This is a team that can run the football. And they got a franchise quarterback. And their defense is not terrible. Those type of things can travel well. Whereas the Steelers, though, have really, it feels like, started to slowly find themselves and discover themselves. Short week here, Thursday night. You look at them and you're like, man, they're on a little bit of a roll. I like the Pittsburgh Steelers in this spot. Give me Pittsburgh minus the 3.5. The early Sunday games. The Lions traveled to Chicago to take on the first-place Bears. I like the Bears in this matchup. 7 almost feels a little rich for me, but I get it and I understand it. I'll take the Bears and show some faith in them. Hopefully Allen Robinson will be back. Khalil Mack will be back. You got to back the Mack, baby. Bear down, bitches. Give me the Bears minus 7. The Saints travel to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals, and on the surface, that 5-point spread for the Saints seems pretty reasonable. I have to confess, and I could look stupid here in a few days, and it won't be the first time. Most certainly as hell it won't be the last time. But it almost has the feelings of a trap game, where the Saints are coming off of such an emotional high with such a big, important game against the Rams at home Sunday. Now you got to follow that up and travel on the road to a team that had a bye week, had 2 weeks to prepare for you. Sometimes these are the games where elite teams slip up, and the Saints are an elite team. This is a spot where they could potentially slip up against at least an average team. I'll still show faith in the Saints and take them minus the 5. I would not be surprised if they boat race the Bengals by 30 or if the Bengals kick their ass. The Falcons travel to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Give me the Falcons minus the 7. Let's keep it moving. The Patriots, travel to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Belichick against Vrabel. This will be interesting. 7, that's a pretty big spread on the road, especially for a Titans team that just beat a bad Cowboys team by 2 touchdowns on Monday night. But the Patriots are in a rhythm. It looks like they've got a lot of weapons on offense. Give me the Patriots minus the 7. Jacksonville travels to Indianapolis as 2.5-point underdogs. And that line is not that crazy. That said, there's always a couple of upsets every week in the NFL. This feels like a prime spot for one. Jacksonville coming off that London trip. They're really in crisis mode at this point. A team that really feels like they should still have something to play for. And in theory, is still not out of the playoff race in the AFC. And most certainly, even with Houston winning 6 in a row, is not out of the race in the AFC South at this point. I like this spot for the Jaguars to respond. So give me the Jags plus the 2.5 to win. Arizona travels to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Look at this spread. Kansas City minus 17. And it doesn't even matter that the Cardinals have had 2 weeks to prepare, does it? That's a massive spread. But yeah, what the hell? I'll roll with it. Chiefs minus 17. The Bills travel to New York to take on the Jets. And it looks like the Jets won't have Sam Darnold. I haven't looked up to see who will be starting for the Bills at quarterback, and frankly, doesn't matter. The Jets are favored by 7.5 at the time of this recording. You almost say, well, if they're starting Josh McCown, are they really losing anything? Might they be gaining something? That's a fair question. And Buffalo, give me the Jets to win, but 7.5, I like Buffalo to cover the 7.5. Who's ready for that Jeff Jinx? Redskins fans, last week, I put it on you. And the football gods put it on you. You got your ass kicked by Atlanta at home. And you lost a couple of interior linemen for the season. You lost Paul Richardson for the season. Don't ever think that the Jeff Jinx isn't real. Don't ever think that. Now they travel to Tampa as 2.5-point underdogs. I want to pick the Bucks here. But to see if the Jeff Jinx can do its magic for another week, Redskins fans, I'm picking your boys plus the 2.5. So therefore, if the Redskins lose this game, don't ever come to me on Twitter or in the comments and complain about how I don't give your team love, or I don't give them respect, and I don't pick them and blah, blah, blah. You see what happens when I fucking pick your team? Hashtag Jeff Jinx is real. It's real. You saw it last week. Careful what you wish for, because you're going to get it. All right, let's move on to the late Sunday games. You got the Chargers traveling to Oakland. Give me a break. Chargers minus the 11. That divisional game my ass, and this my ass, and that my ass. The Raiders just lost a game by 31 points to a third-string fucking quarterback on Thursday night. Give me the Chargers minus 11. The Dolphins travel to Green Bay, where the Packers are 10.5-point favorites, which feels just a little bit rich, even though Aaron Rodgers is much better at home as opposed to the road. Well, what the hell? I'll take the Packers to win minus the 10.5. And then you got the Seahawks traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. We'll see how the Rams respond to their disappointing performance in New Orleans last week, their first loss of the season. Sometimes when a team has been playing and winning, once they get that first taste of loss, sometimes they come back the next week and they don't respond very well. I do expect the Rams to respond. I expect them to win, but I do think Seattle can cover that 10.5-point spread. Sunday night, the Cowboys travel to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Divisional games with 8-point spreads seem to be aggressive, but I can see where the money movement has been going to Philly, and it makes sense. I'll take the Eagles minus the 8. I'm not going to overthink it. And then Monday night, imagine being the schedule maker and thinking week 10, we're going to have the Giants and the 49ers. Eli versus Jimmy G. So what happens when you massively overrate two teams? You massively overrate them. You get this clunker of a Monday night game. Give me the 49ers minus the 3. Let's keep it moving. Hopefully this will be another good week, winning record, and maybe I can finally have a good week against the damn spread. Probably not, but let the guy dream, okay?